I'm here live with Jet. Hello, lovely. And I'm doing something a bit different for my channel, but again, COVID-19, traveling not really happening. I have to get a bit more creative, and lucky for me, I'm a bit of an art-obsessed gal. So, the thrift shops slash charity shops just reopened in England, so I thought it would be pretty cool if I decided to tape one of my charity shops slash thrift flips. And I went in and I got really lucky because I found for like $8, 8 quids, this really basic like crop jean jacket, which I thought was just like perfect for a flip. I already had some black fabric dye, so I'm gonna be using my Dye-On black fabric dye to darken up this jean jacket and kind of go crazy on it after that. Once it's black, it's not done. So step one, dyeing this bad boy. Okay, first things first for the dyeing of the jean jacket, I have to weigh the dry fabric and figure out how much it weighs. So this, in theory, will work for 250 grams of fabric. Now, gotta be thrifty because I don't know, like, I don't have a balance for this kind of unit. So I figured that this pesto and these cheese would add up together to 250 grams. So I will compare averagely the weight of the jean jacket balled up to the weight of the cheese and pesto together to see if they weigh similarly enough for me to go ahead and try and dye this, which is about as sketchy as it can get, but welcome to Steph Does a DIY. So, jean jacket in hand, cheese and pesto in hand. I feel a very similar resistance, so I mean, if it's not the same, it's probably pretty close. And if not, the dye won't be perfect, but that's fine. I've been tie-dyeing everything I own for the last 4 months, so we'll make it work. But I think this basic weighing test came back somewhat positive. So here we go. Step 2, I have to rinse the jean jacket so that it is now wet. I have to dissolve the dye into 500 milliliters of warm water, and then I have to fill up a bowl or a sink with 6 liters of hot water, like 40 degrees Celsius, add 10 tablespoons of salt, and when all of this is mixed in, is it me or I'm basically mixing the dye with 6.5 liters of warm water? Like, why do I have to do it in 2 steps? Stir for 15 minutes and then let it sit for 45 minutes. And when I'm done, rinse the coat in some cold water, which, let's face it, I'm lazy. My washing machine will do that part for me. And then dry away from the sun. So I've put on a black shirt to fit with my soul. I'm kidding. I put on a black shirt because I'm handling black dye. So I have 500 milliliters of water in my sink, which is pretty warm, and I'm just gonna dump the dye in it and see what happens. Spread, my little spread. The moment you realize you straight up got dye on your face. Okay, cookies, time to put this in the washer. Pray for me because I have to put these bad boys back on, and I'm probably gonna end up staining more than just my face this time. Woohoo! It is now dark blue, blackish. All the stitching is probably polyester because it is still quite contrasting, but I actually pretty much like this style of a contrast stitch, so I'm glad it actually didn't die. And we'll be ready for the next steps. So day 2, I'm here, I'm clean, the coat is clean, and it's kind of a darkish blue. I really like this kind of uneven dark blue wash. It's really different from what I already have. So now we're going to get into the artsy part of this, which will involve modifying the back. So step 1, we're going to gesso the main back panel. Gesso is basically a universal primer for paints. Acrylic dries down to be somewhat plasticky and it really keeps to the color nicely. Obviously I won't be able to dry this, but it's jeans, so I wouldn't have dried it anyways in the drying machine. So gesso first, see you after that. Two layers versus 1 layer. Improvement. So now that we've attained a place where the jean jacket is totally ready to be painted on, embroidered on, kissed, I have to confess something to you guys. I actually don't know what I'm gonna do on the jacket because I don't want to copy somebody else's art, especially if I'm carrying it on my back, and if people end up wanting some or ordering some, I wouldn't want to have to explain that it's actually not my design and that I snatched it off the internet. So I'm trying to come up with my own idea, but like respecting the things that I'm interested in generally. So we're kind of at a point where Jet and I don't know what we want to put on the jacket. Anyhow, so we are at the moment considering Japanese design. I've been obsessed with their waves, their suns, and all the different traditional Japanese designs. So I can pop a few images on here. Like, I really like the big red circles and all the waves. At the same time, I've really been into like more mystical designs. I'm like, oh, maybe we could go more along something whimsical like this. Obviously in embroidery, there's a lot of like flowers. So honestly, as you might have caught on by now, I have no clue where I'm headed. I'm kind of winging it, which I've been doing since the moment I decided to weigh the jacket by comparing it to pesto and cheese. So I can't make up my mind. I'm heading to the drawing board and see what I can do. I don't know. See you again in another second. The cause of all my procrastination. Oh, you're so cute. You're so cute. You're not the topic of this video. Okay, back to the drawing board. We are focused. We have ideas. Okay, so I'm going through like all the embroidery threads to try and figure out what colors I want because it might help me figure out the design, because I'm really inspired by this specific design that I've copied off the internet, so that's not going on it. I have come up with like various versions that you can't see right now, and depending on the threads that I pick, I'm trying to fit with the stitching of the jacket, but as well as my design ideas. I'm going to need some reds for the sun and various other things like that. Like this red is too bright, so I'm not going to use it. I'd like some lilac in there as well, but it needs to look good with the reds. So once I've sorted that out, I think we'll actually get down to business. Just pick yourself. Rise to the top and say, me, I'm the one. Welcome back to Steph Has a Meltdown over picking embroidery threads. We have colors for the embroidery, which are also gonna be the colors we use for the paint job. We're gonna add some black, obviously, but I think I'm gonna go with something like this. We're jumping in. See you at the next panic attack. So the painting part is done, and now I'm gonna be headed on to embroidery, but not today. See y'all on day 3. Day 3, it's a mood. So, I've now done all the red, I've done the sea, I still have quite a lot to go because, well, I still have the purple flowers, the blue leaves, and all the yellow, like, flower embellishments. Ooh. I look like a mess now because this is giving me blisters on my fingers. Carrying on. Oh my god, I can't feel my hand anymore. But after like, way too many hours, I'm done embroidering the back, so more on that in the B-roll. But looking at the front, I've kind of come to the conclusion that I think the front is like too mainstream, too like old style, and it just doesn't fit with the back anymore. So I thought like now could be the good time to like film the jacket and show you the result of the dye, the paint job, and the embroidery. But no, because now I'm going on to embellishments at the front. So oh god, nope. Oh, it's done.